Ladies and gentlemen, friends, dreamers, and doers, today I want to tell you something very simple, but very powerful. 2025 is the year of achievement. Not next year, not someday this year, right now, because every year offers us 365 opportunities, 8,760 hours to move closer to our goals. But it is the mindset with which we embrace those moments that turns a year into a year of achievement. Look around you, our world is changing faster than ever before. Technology is evolving, markets are shifting, new ideas are emerging every day. Some see change as a challenge, others as a threat. But I say change is the greatest opportunity we have. It breaks the old molds, clears the way for innovation, and rewards those who dare to act. 2025 is not just another calendar year. It is a canvas waiting for bold strokes. It is a chance to rise above excuses, to break free from fear, and to transform ideas into reality. Too many people wait for perfect conditions, for everything to align magically before they start. But the truth is, perfect conditions never come. The secret is to start now with what you have, where you are, and who you are. What does achievement really mean? It's not about luck or waiting for someone else to open the door. Achievement is about showing up every day with determination, with persistence, and with belief in yourself. It's about doing the small things consistently, the hard things courageously, and the unknown things fearlessly. Achievement is the sum of daily efforts that no one sees but everyone eventually notices. In 2025, I urge you to embrace failure as your teacher, not your enemy. Every failure carries a lesson wrapped in disguise. When you stumble, don't stop, analyze, learn, adapt, and move forward. Those who give up at the first failure will never know how close they were to success. The winners are not those who never fall, but those who refuse to stay down. This year, challenge yourself to think bigger but act smaller, set big goals but break them into small, achievable steps. Consistency is your superpower. The greatest achievements are not made by bursts of energy but by steady, relentless progress. Even if the progress is invisible today, trust that every effort is a brick in your foundation. Remember, achievement is never a solo journey. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, and who push you to be better. Build relationships, collaborate, share knowledge. In this connected world, success belongs to those who lift others as they rise. Do not fear the unknown. Instead, let curiosity be your guide. Explore new ideas, embrace new technologies, and reinvent yourself when necessary. The year 2025 belongs to the innovators, the learners, and the brave-hearted who see opportunity in every challenge. Finally, understand that achievement is about purpose. Find what drives you deeply, your passion, your why, and let that fuel your efforts. Without purpose, success is hollow. With it, every achievement is meaningful and fulfilling. So as the calendar turns, make a promise to yourself. 2025 will be your year of achievement. No more waiting, no more doubts, no more excuses. The future belongs to those who take action today. Step forward with courage, work hard with persistence, and celebrate every small victory along the way. 2025 is your year. Go make it happen. Starting now with what you have is the most powerful decision you can make when you want to achieve something meaningful. Too many people wait for the right moment, for perfect conditions to line up before they take action. They think they need more resources, more knowledge, more time, or more confidence before they can begin. But this waiting game often turns into a trap that keeps dreams locked away indefinitely. The truth is that perfect conditions almost never exist. Waiting for them means waiting forever, and in that waiting, opportunities slip away. Every great success story begins with a simple first step, often taken in less than ideal circumstances. Whether it's a groundbreaking business, a creative project, or personal transformation, someone, somewhere started with exactly what they had at the moment. It might have been limited funds, imperfect skills, or scarce resources. But the key was they didn't wait, they acted. They understood that the power to change their situation was in their hands right now, not some future moment that might never come. When you start with what you have, you tap into your resourcefulness and creativity. Limitations push you to think differently, find new solutions, and use what might seem insignificant in new ways. This mindset turns obstacles into opportunities. Instead of focusing on what's missing, you focus on what's possible. This shift in perspective is the foundation of achievement because it replaces paralysis with progress. Moreover, starting now builds momentum. Action creates energy, and energy fuels motivation. When you take that first step, no matter how small, you begin to build a chain reaction. Each action becomes easier than the last because you're moving forward. This momentum grows day by day, giving you the confidence and clarity needed to tackle bigger challenges. It's important to understand that starting now does not mean being reckless or careless. It means making a commitment to begin with what you have, while continuously learning and improving. You might not have everything figured out at the start, and that's okay. The journey itself will teach you what you need to know. By beginning, you open the door to growth, and growth happens through experience, trial, and adjustment. Many people delay starting because they feel they need to be ready. But readiness is often a myth. If you wait until you feel ready, you might never move. Feelings of fear, doubt, or uncertainty are natural but should not stop you from acting. Instead, use those feelings as signals that you are pushing beyond your comfort zone, which is exactly where growth occurs. Starting with what you have also means being honest with yourself about your current situation. Take stock of your skills, your network, your resources, and your mindset. Identify what strengths you can build on and what gaps you need to address over time. This honest assessment grounds your efforts in reality and helps you make practical, effective decisions from the very beginning. Sometimes people hesitate because they believe they need external validation or permission to begin. They wait for someone to approve their idea, fund their project, or give them the green light. But true achievement comes from within. When you start with what you have, you reclaim your power to lead your own journey. You don't need permission from anyone else to take the first step toward your goals. Starting now is also a powerful antidote to procrastination. Procrastination often disguises itself as planning or preparation, but it is really fear in another form. It convinces you that tomorrow will be better, or that you need one more thing before you can start. By committing to begin immediately, you break this cycle. You choose progress over perfection, action over delay. Another key benefit of starting now is that it allows you to learn from real-world feedback. Theoretical planning and endless preparation can only take you so far. Real learning happens when you engage with the world, test your ideas, and adjust based on results. Starting now means you get valuable insights faster, which accelerates your improvement and success. When you start with what you have, you also develop resilience. Challenges and setbacks become part of your journey rather than reasons to quit. Each obstacle you encounter while moving forward teaches you how to adapt and persist. This resilience is what separates those who eventually achieve their goals from those who give up along the way. This principle applies not only to individuals but also to organizations and communities. Companies that begin with limited resources but a clear vision often will outperform those that wait for perfect conditions. Small startups that launch their minimum viable products quickly can learn and pivot faster than companies stuck in endless development. Similarly, communities that take action on small projects build momentum that leads to bigger transformations. Furthermore, starting now encourages a growth mindset. It means viewing your current abilities not as fixed traits but as starting points for development. You accept that you will improve as you practice, learn, and engage with challenges. This mindset creates a positive cycle where effort leads to progress, and progress leads to more effort. It's also essential to recognize that starting now does not mean you have to do everything alone or all at once. Taking the first step might be as simple as reaching out to someone, setting a small goal, or dedicating a few minutes a day to your vision. Small beginnings are still beginnings, and they pave the way for bigger actions over time. When you start with what you have, you also honor the value of time. Time is the one resource that cannot be replenished. By acting now, you make the most of the time available to you, building a future rather than waiting for it to arrive. The small efforts you put in today are investments that yield returns in the days, months, and years ahead. Finally, starting now cultivates a sense of ownership and responsibility. You become the driver of your own success rather than a passenger waiting for circumstances to change. This ownership empowers you to navigate obstacles with creativity and persistence because you have chosen to take control of your path. The world around us is filled with examples of people who started with little but succeeded because they took action immediately. They didn't wait for perfect timing, ideal conditions, or full confidence. Instead, they started where they were, used what they had, and made the most of every opportunity. Their stories remind us that starting now is the first and most important step toward achievement. This approach creates a cycle of progress where action leads to learning, learning leads to growth, and growth leads to greater opportunities. The process is continuous, dynamic, and full of potential. By embracing the power of starting now, you set yourself on a path of unstoppable momentum and eventual success. In the context of 2025 being the year of achievement, the message is clear. This is your moment to begin. You have everything you need at this moment to make meaningful progress toward your goals. The conditions are not perfect, but they are perfect enough to start. Waiting longer only delays your success and diminishes your potential impact. Starting now does not mean perfection or certainty, it means commitment and courage. It means deciding that your future is worth the risks and uncertainties of beginning. It means trusting yourself to learn and grow along the way. It means believing that small, consistent actions taken today will lead to extraordinary outcomes tomorrow. When you commit to starting now with what you have, you unlock a powerful force within you, a force that drives creativity, resilience, and achievement. It is the force of action, the force of courage, the force of hope. It is the force that turns dreams into realities and ideas into accomplishments. Embracing failure as a teacher rather than an enemy is one of the most important mindset shifts you can make on the path to achievement. Failure is often seen as something to avoid at all costs, a sign of weakness, incompetence, or bad luck. But this perspective limits our growth and stops us from taking the necessary risks that lead to success. The truth is, failure is an essential part of any meaningful journey. It is not the opposite of success, it is a vital step toward it. When you embrace failure as a teacher, you begin to see it not as a final verdict, but as feedback and honest reflection of what didn't work, so you can adjust and improve. Failure provides lessons that no success can teach. It reveals weaknesses in your plan, gaps in your knowledge, and areas where effort must be redirected. Without failure, growth is limited because you miss the opportunity to learn and evolve. Many successful people credit their failures as the foundation of their achievements. They didn't avoid failure, they faced it head-on, analyzed it, and used it as a guide to refine their approach. This willingness to fail and learn builds resilience, deepens understanding, and strengthens determination. It creates a mindset where challenges become opportunities and setbacks become setups for comebacks. Fear of failure is natural because it threatens our ego and sense of security. It triggers feelings of embarrassment, disappointment, or loss. But these feelings, while uncomfortable, are temporary and far outweighed by the long-term benefits of learning from mistakes. The key is to separate your identity from your failures. Failing at a task does not mean you are a failure as a person. This separation allows you to objectively analyze what went wrong and take corrective action without being paralyzed by self-doubt. To embrace failure, you must first redefine what failure means to you. Instead of seeing it as something shameful or disastrous, see it as a necessary and valuable part of progress. This reframing helps reduce the fear that holds many people back. When failure becomes a tool for learning, you become more willing to take risks and experiment, which are essential behaviors for innovation and growth. Learning from failure requires honest reflection. It is important to pause, evaluate, and ask critical questions. What happened? Why did it happen? What can I do differently next time? This reflection transforms a painful experience into a powerful source of insight. It also prevents repeating the same mistakes, saving time and effort in the future. It's also important to cultivate patience when dealing with failure. Immediate results often do not reflect the true progress being made. Sometimes failure comes as part of a longer process of experimentation, adjustment, and improvement. Understanding that failure is temporary and a stepping stone helps you maintain motivation and continue pushing forward even when results aren't immediate. Failure also teaches humility. It reminds us that we are not perfect and that there is always room for growth. This humility opens the door to seeking help, asking questions, and learning from others. Those who refuse to acknowledge their failures often isolate themselves and miss out on valuable support and knowledge that could accelerate their success. A culture that embraces failure encourages creativity and innovation. When failure is stigmatized, people tend to play it safe, avoid risks, and stick to the status quo. But true progress happens when people are willing to try new approaches, learn from mistakes, and iterate. This willingness to experiment without fear of harsh judgment leads to breakthroughs and unexpected achievements. Failure also helps build emotional strength and resilience. Each time you experience failure and recover, you become stronger and more confident in your ability to handle adversity. This resilience is critical because setbacks are inevitable in any worthwhile endeavor. What defines your journey is not how many times you fall, but how many times you get up and keep moving forward. It is helpful to share your failures openly with others. Doing so normalizes the experience and creates an environment where people feel safe to take risks and learn. Sharing failures can also lead to new perspectives and solutions that you might not have considered on your own. This openness strengthens relationships and builds trust within teams and communities. In professional settings, leaders who model embracing failure foster a culture of continuous improvement. They encourage their teams to take risks, experiment, and learn quickly from mistakes. This culture accelerates innovation and keeps the organization adaptable in a rapidly changing world. Fear of failure, on the other hand, breeds stagnation and complacency. Failure is also a teacher of priorities. When something doesn't work, it forces you to reconsider what truly matters and where to focus your energy. Sometimes failure reveals that a particular goal or method isn't aligned with your values or long-term vision. This clarity allows you to pivot and direct your efforts toward more meaningful and effective pursuits. Many people view failure as the end of the road, but in reality, it is often just a detour. Failure forces you to explore new paths, reconsider your strategy, and discover alternatives you might not have otherwise considered. These detours can lead to unexpected opportunities and even better outcomes than your original plan. Another lesson failure teaches is perseverance. It shows that success is not about how fast you achieve your goals, but about how long you are willing to keep going despite obstacles. Every failure is a test of your commitment and determination. Those who persist learn that setbacks are temporary and that consistent effort eventually leads to breakthroughs. Failure also sharpens problem-solving skills. When you encounter failure, you are pushed to think creatively and critically to overcome challenges. This problem-solving mindset is essential not only for your current goals but for life in general, where unexpected problems arise regularly. To fully benefit from failure, it's important to cultivate self-compassion. Being kind to yourself during difficult times reduces the risk of discouragement and burnout. It allows you to acknowledge mistakes without harsh judgment and encourages a positive, growth-oriented mindset. Embracing failure means celebrating the courage it takes to try. Every attempt, whether it succeeds or fails, is an act of bravery. By honoring your willingness to take risks, you reinforce the habit of action and reduce the power of fear. It is also useful to document your failures and lessons learned. Keeping a failure journal or notes helps you track patterns and insights over time. This record becomes a valuable resource to guide future decisions and reminds you of how far you've come. In the journey toward achievement, failure is not a detour, but a guidepost. It directs you toward improvement, adaptation, and ultimately success. By changing your relationship with failure from avoidance to acceptance, you unlock your potential to grow beyond limits and achieve what once seemed impossible. Failure's role as a teacher applies to all aspects of life: business, personal growth, relationships, and creativity. Every area benefits when you treat failure as an opportunity to learn and evolve rather than a reason to quit. This universal lesson makes the willingness to fail a defining trait of those who succeed. Ultimately, embracing failure is about cultivating the courage to take risks, to face uncertainty, and to keep moving forward despite setbacks. This courage fuels innovation, perseverance, and progress. Without it, fear keeps us stuck in comfort zones, and potential remains unrealized. In today's fast-paced world, the desire for instant success often overshadows the power of consistent, small steps. Many people chase overnight transformations, but the reality is that meaningful achievement rarely comes from one dramatic action. Instead, it's built through the accumulation of countless small efforts sustained over time. These small actions, when done consistently, compound and create momentum, eventually driving you toward your goals. Breaking a big dream into manageable daily tasks provides a clear roadmap for your journey. This method reduces overwhelm and makes progress feel achievable. Each small step becomes a win, a sign that you're moving in the right direction. These victories build motivation and reinforce your commitment to your bigger vision. Consistency is the key that unlocks long-term progress. A small effort each day might seem insignificant in the moment, but over time these efforts add up. Like drops of water filling a bucket, each action contributes to growth. The real magic lies in compounding, how small gains build on each other to generate exponential results. One of the greatest benefits of consistent action is the development of habits. Habits are powerful because they become automatic behaviors, requiring little mental effort. When your daily actions turn into habits, you reduce the likelihood of procrastination or quitting. These habits form a stable foundation that supports long-term success. Small, steady actions also offer flexibility and adaptability. When your approach is incremental, it's easier to adjust and learn along the way. If something isn't working, you can pivot without losing your overall momentum. This iterative process helps you improve continuously and increases your chance of success. Discipline is another key outcome of consistency. Motivation can waver, especially when results aren't immediate or when challenges arise. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward regardless of how you feel. By sticking to small, regular actions, you train your mind to persevere. This builds mental toughness and makes your journey sustainable. Setting small, specific goals is a practical way to stay consistent. Rather than vague aims like get healthy or be successful, choose clear tasks such as walking 30 minutes daily or writing 300 words each morning. Specific goals make it easier to take action, track progress, and measure success. Tracking progress reinforces your efforts and builds accountability. Seeing that you've followed through on your daily tasks brings a sense of achievement and encourages continued effort. This creates a positive feedback loop and nurtures a growth mindset, the belief that effort leads to improvement. Another advantage of small, consistent steps is that they reduce the fear of failure. When the focus is on incremental progress, the stakes of each action are lower. This makes it easier to take risks, try new things, and learn through experimentation. It also helps you overcome perfectionism. Rather than waiting for the perfect time or solution, you act consistently, accepting that imperfect action is better than no action at all. This approach applies to all areas of life: health, learning, relationships, and business. For instance, reading a few pages daily can lead to finishing dozens of books a year. Practicing a new skill for just 10 minutes daily can lead to mastery over time. Celebrating small wins is also essential. Recognizing even minor achievements builds motivation and reinforces good habits. These celebrations don't need to be elaborate. Reflecting on your progress or giving yourself a small reward can go a long way. Consistency doesn't mean being rigid or obsessive. It's about being committed and adaptable. Life will bring unexpected challenges, but persistence means continuing your efforts even after setbacks. This resilience strengthens your character and keeps you moving forward. To avoid overwhelm, focus your efforts. Now, don't try to tackle too many goals at once. Choose a few key areas where small, consistent actions will have the greatest impact. Focus helps you direct your energy effectively and enhances the quality of your efforts. Supportive people and tools can also enhance consistency. Accountability partners or mentors can encourage you on difficult days. Tools like planners, reminders, and progress trackers help maintain discipline and keep you organized. Finally, it's crucial to be patient. Real results take time. Trust the process and value the journey. Remember that consistency leads to compound growth, just like small investments grow over time. Start today, stay committed, and each small step will move you closer to your goals. By embracing consistent small actions, you shift your mindset from chasing quick wins to building lasting success, one step at a time. The power of surrounding yourself with inspiring and challenging people. Who you surround yourself with plays a pivotal role in shaping your mindset, habits, and ultimately your success. The people in your circle can either elevate you or hold you back. Choosing to be around individuals who inspire and challenge you is one of the most powerful ways to accelerate personal and professional growth. Humans are inherently social, and much of our behavior, thinking, and motivation is influenced by those we spend the most time with. If you're constantly around people who settle for less, doubt your abilities, or discourage ambition, their outlook gradually seeps into your mindset. On the other hand, being in the company of motivated, forward-thinking, and supportive individuals can elevate your own standards, pushing you toward excellence. Inspirational people are those who live with purpose, overcome adversity, and embody values like perseverance, creativity, and integrity. Observing their actions and learning from their stories can be deeply motivating. Their success demonstrates what is possible, expanding your vision and belief in your own potential. This belief is crucial, especially during tough times, because it fuels the commitment required to keep moving forward. Equally important are those who challenge you. Challengers are not people who bring you down, but those who push you to think critically, take accountability, and grow beyond your comfort zone. They don't just agree with everything you say, they ask tough questions, give honest feedback, and help you see blind spots. Though it can be uncomfortable, this kind of challenge promotes real, lasting growth. Together, inspiration and challenge create balance. Inspiration gives you hope and vision, while challenge instills discipline and action. A circle that includes both keeps you motivated, grounded, and consistently moving toward your goals. Building this environment starts with being intentional. Reflect on your current circle, who uplifts you and who drains your energy. Sometimes, creating space for growth requires stepping away from negative influences. This isn't always easy, especially when it involves people you've known for a long time, but it's essential if they no longer align with your values or support your goals. Actively seeking out mentors and role models is one of the best ways to elevate your environment. Mentors have walked the path before you. They offer guidance, help you avoid mistakes, and accelerate your learning. Role models, even if they aren't directly accessible, set a standard of excellence that inspires you to reach higher. Peers and collaborators also play a critical role. A group of peers with shared goals fosters accountability and mutual support. Learning from each other's experiences, celebrating milestones together, and exchanging ideas can provide fresh perspectives and increased motivation. Collaborators bring in diversity of thought and skills, which strengthens your projects and expands your opportunities. Accountability partners are especially valuable. These are people who regularly check in on your goals and progress, helping you stay consistent and focused. Knowing that someone else is invested in your growth encourages you to follow through, even when motivation wanes. In addition to personal relationships, communities and networks aligned with your passions or ambitions can significantly enhance your environment. Whether it's a professional association, mastermind group, online forum, or hobby club, being part of a like-minded group exposes you to new ideas, valuable resources, and shared encouragement. Constructive feedback is also a cornerstone of growth. Being open to criticism and seeking it out from people you trust helps you improve faster. While it can sting in the moment, feedback from those who care about your development is often the catalyst for major breakthroughs. And remember, inspiration and challenge aren't limited to people. Books, podcasts, lectures, and other media offer powerful insights, especially when direct access to mentors is limited. These sources can bridge the gap, offering motivation and practical advice from people you admire. One often overlooked element is the internal influence your relationship with yourself. Challenge yourself, set ambitious goals, reflect regularly, and strive for personal excellence. When you hold yourself to high standards, you naturally attract others who do the same. There may be times when your growth creates tension in existing relationships. Some people might resist your progress or feel threatened by your new direction. In such cases, stay true to your goals. Real supporters will understand and encourage your evolution. Quality matters more than quantity. A few strong, meaningful connections will always outweigh a large network of shallow relationships. Nurture your key relationships with authenticity, consistency, and mutual respect. Finally, don't just look for people who inspire and challenge you. Be that person for others. When you support, motivate, and push those around you to grow, you contribute to a culture of collective progress. This creates a ripple effect that reaches far beyond your own life. In the end, the environment you create through the people you surround yourself with shapes who you become. Choose wisely, invest deeply, and continually seek out those who make you better. Your success, resilience, and fulfillment will reflect the company you keep. Success demands a mindset that refuses to settle for less than your full potential. It requires a relentless commitment to growth, a willingness to face challenges head-on, and an unwavering belief in your capacity to overcome obstacles. This mindset is the foundation that supports every step on the path to achievement. Without it, even the most talented or fortunate individuals struggle to reach their goals. A mindset oriented toward success is characterized by optimism, resilience, and discipline. It is not about blind positivity or ignoring difficulties, but about maintaining confidence and focus despite setbacks. This mental framework allows you to see opportunities where others see problems and to persist when the easy option is to give up. Central to this mindset is the belief that your abilities are not fixed but can be developed through effort and learning. This growth mindset empowers you to embrace challenges as chances to improve rather than threats to your self-worth. It shifts your focus from proving yourself to improving yourself, which fosters continuous progress. Resilience is another key component. It is the ability to bounce back from failure, criticism, or adversity with renewed determination. Life will inevitably present obstacles, but resilience ensures that these hurdles do not become permanent barriers. Instead, they become temporary tests of your commitment and creativity. Discipline ties the mindset together by translating intention into consistent action. It is what keeps you working toward your goals, even on days when motivation wanes. Discipline builds habits that support your success and creates a structure within which growth becomes sustainable. Success mindset also involves clarity of purpose. Knowing why you want to achieve a goal provides direction and fuels perseverance. This purpose connects your daily efforts to a larger vision, making sacrifices and hard work meaningful rather than burdensome. It anchors your actions in values and aspirations that inspire you. Positive self-talk is a practical way to nurture this mindset. The way you speak to yourself influences your confidence and behavior. Encouraging, constructive internal dialogue strengthens belief in your abilities and reduces self-doubt. Over time, this habit rewires your brain to expect success and look for solutions. Visualization is another powerful tool. Imagining yourself achieving your goals creates a mental blueprint that guides your actions. This practice enhances motivation and prepares you emotionally for success, making it feel more attainable and real. It aligns your subconscious mind with your conscious efforts. Setting realistic yet challenging goals is essential to cultivating a success mindset. Goals provide benchmarks to measure progress and maintain focus. When goals are well defined, you can create actionable plans and celebrate milestones, reinforcing motivation and confidence. Surrounding yourself with positive influences supports this mindset. The people you engage with, the content you consume, and the environment you cultivate all affect your mental state. Immersing yourself in inspiration, knowledge, and encouragement reinforces your belief in success and models the behaviors needed to achieve it. Learning to manage stress and maintain balance is also part of a success mindset. High achievement requires energy and clarity, which come from physical health, emotional well-being, and mental calm. Practices such as mindfulness, exercise, and adequate rest support resilience and focus, enabling you to perform at your best consistently. Failure and setbacks are inevitable, but the success mindset treats them as temporary and instructive rather than permanent and defining. This perspective encourages experimentation and risk-taking because the fear of failure diminishes. Each setback is an opportunity to refine strategies, build skills, and strengthen resolve. Adaptability is closely linked to this mindset. The ability to adjust your approach in response to changing circumstances or new information keeps you agile and competitive. Success rarely follows a straight path, and flexibility allows you to navigate detours and seize unexpected opportunities. Gratitude and humility enhance the success mindset by keeping you grounded and connected. Recognizing the contributions of others, appreciating progress, and staying open to feedback foster positive relationships and continuous learning. Humility prevents arrogance and complacency, which can derail even the most talented individuals. A success mindset also means taking ownership of your journey. You acknowledge that your choices and actions shape your results. This ownership empowers you to take responsibility for failures without blame and to actively seek solutions rather than excuses. Consistency is a natural outcome of this mindset because it values long-term progress over short-term gratification. It fuels persistence, helping you maintain effort through challenges and plateaus. Consistent action creates momentum, which is often the difference between giving up and breakthrough. This mindset encourages curiosity and a passion for learning. Successful people view knowledge and skill acquisition as lifelong pursuits. They remain open to new ideas and continuously seek ways to improve themselves in their work. This openness leads to innovation and sustained relevance. Celebrating small wins is an important habit within a success mindset. Recognizing progress builds confidence and reinforces positive behavior. It helps maintain enthusiasm and reminds you that achievement is a journey composed of many steps, not a single event. The mindset of success also requires courage, the willingness to face fear, uncertainty, and discomfort. Courage propels you to take the necessary risks, make difficult decisions, and stand firm in your values. It enables you to act despite doubt and criticism. Empathy and emotional intelligence complement the success mindset by enhancing communication and collaboration. Understanding others' perspectives and managing emotions effectively lead to stronger relationships and better teamwork, which are vital in most paths to achievement. Developing a success mindset is an ongoing process, not a fixed state. It requires daily attention, self-reflection, and intentional practice. Challenges will test your mindset repeatedly, and growth occurs by meeting those tests with resilience and learning. The impact of a success mindset extends beyond individual achievement. It influences your ability to inspire and lead others, contribute to your community, and create positive change. When your mindset is aligned with your actions, you become a force for progress and possibility.